Your competitive strengths, what your company does best. If you are developing a business plan or a strategic plan or attempting to define your competitive advantage in the industry, you will need to understand and promote your company's strengths. In order to determine what you do significantly better than your competitors, which is part of your competitive advantage, you are going to need an honest and accurate assessment of your company's strengths and weaknesses. If you'd like to go beyond your own subjective opinion and obtain an honest, accurate, and empirical assessment on how others see your company's strengths, including your customers and competitors, then this video is for you. Transforming your business from struggling to success and from success to significance. If you have been following our videos on business plans versus strategic plans, your competitive advantage, or the competitive intelligence videos, in all of them, I stress the importance of understanding your company's true strengths and weaknesses. One of the best ways to obtain that information is by performing a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The SWOT Matrix is one of the most reliable tools and methodologies used in corporate strategic planning. In my book, Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses, I have 2 chapters that cover how to develop the SWOT Matrix and how to analyze it for strategic initiatives going forward. At a later time, I will do a video on the SWOT Matrix, but in this video, I'm simply going to focus on the strengths and weaknesses portion of the SWOT Matrix. This will allow you to complete your business plan, strategic plan, market analysis, competitive advantage, or anything else you're developing that requires an in-depth understanding of your true company's strengths and weaknesses. Step 1 is to develop your revenue and profitability pie charts. For the revenue pie chart, show your various products and services as a percentage of your revenue. For the profitability pie chart, show your profitability by product or service as a percentage of your gross profit or cost of goods sold. If you provide services, yes, there's no such thing as cost of goods sold. However, develop a pseudo cost of goods sold by factoring in those labor, overhead, and G&A expenses that are directly associated with providing those specific services. These pie charts are typically eye-opening to many business leaders. I always love to watch the look on managers' faces when they see the numbers that they ever really think about. They now come face to face with understanding which products and services provide the greatest revenue, along with which ones are being subsidized by other products and services your company offers. It's always shocking to find out this is where the money is really coming from. Now, these pie charts may not define your strength, but they give an honest assessment of your current value and where the competitors or where your customers see that value. What are you doing that is bringing in the most value to others and value back into your own company? Step 2. Now let's define strengths and weaknesses. For the purpose of this video, we will define strengths as something that you do significantly better than average compared to your competitors. A weakness, on the other hand, is something that you do less than average. Of course, this is why you need to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your competitors, which I explained in the competitive intelligence video. You can only understand what average is if you understand how good your competitors really are at something. Step 4 is to survey your customers and competitors about how they see your strengths and weaknesses. Remember, other than God, it's your customer's perspective that counts the most. By the same token, your competitors are in the same business as you are. They may have a prejudiced opinion about you, but they're also experts in the same industry. You can learn a lot from their perspective about your strengths and weaknesses. How do you survey your customers and competitors about you? Great question. As I mentioned in the competitive intelligence video, the key is learning how to ask the right questions in a non-threatening way. And of course, you only ask those customers and competitors that you have a good relationship with in the first place. Ask them face to face. Let them know that you're always looking to bring greater value and that you value their opinion and input. Never ask more than 2 or 3 questions at any one sitting. You don't want them feeling like they're filling out a survey form. Remember, timing is everything when you're asking someone for a favor, and this is exactly what you were doing when you were asking them to provide input to your strengths and weaknesses. Step 4, the SWOT Matrix is best developed in a group setting. Get the leaders in your company and the heads of sales and marketing, finance, operations, production, quality, HR, and technology involved in this meeting. I give details on how to prepare and conduct these meetings in the Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book, but the key is to ask the right questions. For example, if you simply ask the question, what are our strengths and weaknesses? The answers you get will probably be useless. Additionally, be prepared for some corporate cheerleaders that will tell you that you don't have any weaknesses. Everything you do well and better than your competitors. The way I handle these type of people is to ask them, well, Paul, other than yourself, who else believes that? Which customer says that? Which competitor believes that? The key is to ask the right questions and give your team time to think about their honest answers. In the book, I present about 50 questions that I use for the entire SWOT matrix, but here I'm only going to show you 5 good questions on how to determine your strengths and 5 good questions for your weaknesses that I like to use when facilitating a strategic planning session. So here are the strengths questions. Number 1, why do our customers love our products and services and company? I want their reasons, not ours. The second question is, what is our best-selling product or service and why? Make sure this is substantiated with the pie charts that you did in step 1. What does our company do better than our direct competitors, and do our customers and competitors agree with that statement? The fourth question is, in what products or services and markets do we compete best and why? And fifth, what is our competitive advantage, and do our customers and competitors agree with that statement? And if you're not sure what a competitive advantage is, then you should take a look at the competitive advantage video. Now for the question to determine your weaknesses. The first question, what do our customers dislike most about our products, services, and the company? Their reasons, not ours. The second question, what problems or complaints are often mentioned about our products, services, and company by our customers and competitors, suppliers, and distributors? The third question is, what are the reasons given when customers stop or reduce their business with us? The fourth question is, what are 3 things we wish our company was much better in? And the fifth question is, in what products or markets do we compete worst and why? I guarantee that these questions and the other questions that I have in the book will work much better than simply asking your team, what are our strengths and weaknesses? As I've said many times, the key is to learn to ask the right questions. Ask the right questions and you'll get the right answers. As you gather the input from your team, or the input you're gathering from your customers, prospects, or competitors, you will find that many of the answers you're hearing are saying the same thing in different ways. Initially, don't worry about the clarity of the language, but just capture everything on a whiteboard in the meeting as you do this exercise. You will have time later on to rewrite, summarize, and condense these strengths and weaknesses later in your SWOT matrix. Step 5. Now that you've identified your strengths and weaknesses from the SWOT matrix, now you want to validate these strengths and weaknesses to make sure they are true and accurate. How do you do that? I will show you. First, you want to start creating a list of all the projects, products, and services that you have had considerable success with in the past. These are the projects that you're most proud of, and they should be reflected in the pie charts that you did in step 1. These represent your successes. You made good money with these products and services. Now, create another list of all the projects, products, and services that you struggled with. These were the projects from hell that didn't go well. These will be absent from the pie charts or a very small portion of the pie charts. These are your failures. You probably wish you hadn't got involved with them or that you approached them much differently. Now, look at your list of strengths and weaknesses and compare them to your list of successes and failures. What you should find is that your successes line up very well with your strengths, and your failures should line up very well with your weaknesses. If so, then you have validated your true strengths and weaknesses. If that's not the case, then perhaps you need to go back and revisit the answers you received from your team regarding your strengths and weaknesses. Step 6. Now that you have validated your true strengths and weaknesses, what do you do with it? This is the information you will use when you write your business plan, strategic plan, competitive advantage, or market analysis. I talked about those in the other videos and in my Strategic Planning for Kingdom Businesses book. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses will put you in a better position to grow your company based upon your strengths and avoid spending time and money on projects and initiatives that are higher risk and probably have a smaller return on investment. Hopefully, this video has helped you understand how to go about identifying your true strengths and weaknesses in an objective, empirical manner. From here, you can leverage your strengths to grow your company at a much faster rate, and you can learn to manage your weaknesses to minimize your failures and losses. By looking at your strengths and weaknesses from your customers' eyes, you will have the keys to creating greater value for your customers, which will lead to greater value coming back to you in the form of revenue. Greater value going out, greater value coming in. If this video has been of some help to you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. If there are any other topics you'd like to see discussed relating to strategic planning, please let me know below. Until then, be blessed and keep doing business His way.